Walkins, second part, the same soul entering, but a lot more evolved. Hello again, thank you for being here, welcome to my channel. I hope you are happy and well today. I am Mari Swaruu. I'm continuing from where I left off in the first part of this video about walkins. Although there will always be exceptions to any rule, the universe at large is not classifiable, because the mere fact that when a consciousness, whoever or whatever is holding it, thinks about something, then it has to be real somewhere, or in some plane of existence, or else the thought itself wouldn't be possible. Every entity, being or thing with consciousness awareness, is a fragment of the whole, of the greater source, of the universe as the sum of everything that can possibly be conceived as an idea. From my point of view, no thought, no idea is ever created by us, nor by any conscious creature or entity. All thoughts and ideas are being channeled into the material realms through the biological body, by the soul inhabiting it, and working through its complex DNA, as a crystalline array of etheric antennas. Consciousness and self-awareness are indestructible, nothing that can be done to the physical body can destroy it, and it survives everything, even if the body does not. Even psychological damage, or trauma, is seen from a different angle, with another interpretation, from the perspective of the afterlife, as I described in my video. Same events, different meanings, material side and spirit side. It is not possible to trap a soul as it isn't something to be held in captivity, because you cannot imprison the universe itself. The soul is not a thing, and even though I've used this for descriptive purposes only in other videos, it isn't even a signal from source, as a soul is the universe itself having a thought, therefore it is omnipresent, existing everywhere simultaneously, the same way you can understand that the universe as such, and by definition, is everything and everywhere. In this case I am using the word universe as a synonym for source, but with a slight angle as seen from the side of the physical. Seen from this more expanded point of view, what I simply mean is that ultimately we are all one, and the limits between one being and the next are only ideas in the greater mind of source, thoughts that are necessary to create the game of life, with all its rules and challenges. A soul is a thought, an idea, and an attachment in the greater mind of source. But what does all this I just said have to do with walkins? When a person having a physical experience on earth goes through a strong and meaningful enough transformation in its consciousness and awareness, when an individual has a strong change in perception of how he or she sees and perceives the world and existence itself, through a profound spiritual awakening, or however you want to call it, that in itself is a strong indication of a walk-in soul having replaced the walk-out, the original soul. Souls are ideas in the greater mind of source as I said above, therefore, a profound and complete change in ideas in a person is also a change of soul, a soul swap. One set of ideas is being replaced by another set of ideas, one soul for another. A strong spiritual awakening, strong enough to be profoundly life-changing, is arguably an example of the walk-in phenomena. It could be argued that the change was caused only by the same soul that has transformed itself, which has evolved in a rapid way, for whatever reason, as I described in my previous video when I said that not every transformation is necessarily a walk-in event, but, even though this is still valid, there is another important thing I haven't mentioned yet. As I explained before, a body can only be inhabited, or taken over by a soul that has a frequency compatibility. The soul's vibration must correspond to the vibration of the DNA inside the physical body cells, or there wouldn't be an effective pairing, they wouldn't connect, in other words. The reason why an exiting walkout soul and an entering walk-in soul can operate through the same body is said to be because they are both different versions of the same higher self. The exiting soul and the entering soul are the same person, but at different points in their own spiritual evolution, one much more evolved than the other. This is why the walk-in soul is always much more evolved than the walk-out soul. From a wider, more expanded point of view, they are both the same soul, at different points in their spiritual progression, as I said above, but from the lower, more pragmatic, material world point of view, they are still perceivable as two people, and not the same soul, as their characteristics may be extremely different from one another, yet their essence, their vibration is still close, or similar enough to be able to activate and work through the same body, when the switching occurs. This also explains why so many people who have undergone a strong spiritual awakening experience memory loss of past events that happened before their awakening process, or tend to remember them as having occurred very long ago, as if they were childhood events, when you know that they happened in your adulthood and only a few years ago, in a similar way as how past lives are recalled, for those of you who do remember them. For the entering walk-in soul, the walk-out soul is literally its past life, or one of its lesser evolved past lives. The walk-in highly evolved soul is returning to a compatible body to fix unresolved issues, for one or another specific mission, be it of a personal nature or to guide an entire civilization, by seeding advanced knowledge, skills, and spiritual concepts straight from higher realms. From an expanded perspective, from the timeless angle of higher astral realms, they are the same soul, only separated, or differentiated by unalike points in their spiritual evolution, and simultaneously, they are profoundly different souls from the earthly planes and points of view. This is why apparently there are no cases of walkings occurring in childhood, or in early adolescence, as they almost always occur in adulthood, although there is no way to know this for certain. But there is a lot of logic to this, as a more expanded soul, or version of the same person, would not be interested in reliving all childhood experiences, wanting to directly and efficiently start working on their mission in an adult body, without having to waste time and energy being a child again. They would be interested in entering that body, exchanging places with its lesser evolved version of itself, not only to fulfill a mission on Earth, as it is widely said to be the case, but also to put in order, to correct, the chaotic life of the walkout soul, who no longer can tolerate or face the challenges of its life. When an individual has spiraled down in life, suffering tragedy after tragedy, and a seemingly endless stream of unsurmountable challenges, it is easy to fall into despair and severe depression, entering a strong dark night of the soul, which almost always, if not always, includes ruminating suicide, serious desires to end his or her own life, and it may even include serious attempts, which may lead to a near-death experience, propitiating a walk-in. When someone suffers a lot in life, and everything seems to be against him or her, to a severely devastating degree, an individual can reach rock bottom, a place where either suicide is achieved, or the individual must pull him or herself back together. The individual in this position has nothing to lose, as he or she has already lost everything, but having decided to fight forward, where every advance, however little it may be, is an improvement to life, and a person with this regained strength becomes highly motivated and unstoppable. This life and attitude transformation, although technically being of the same person or soul, is a quantum leap forward in spiritual evolution for the person, and it is at this very point where the higher self of that same soul may swap positions with the lesser evolved and highly battle-damaged walkout version of itself. That highly evolved version of the same soul has switched positions with the lesser evolved one, with the specific mission to fix the individual's life, and to fulfill a more expanded mission which involves being a beacon of light and of hope for others, even if it is just by example, for other souls who are facing the same problems it did, and to help elevate the overall frequency and vibration of the planet. Even though using immersion pod technology we can know that each biological body can only pair with a soul which has the correct and exact vibration as the ones in each cell's DNA, much as a key must correspond exactly to a specific lock, or else the system will not work, sometimes a soul that apparently has nothing to do with the original one may come in. There are many things and aspects of walkings that are not yet fully understood, and being that this phenomenon is extremely difficult to study, we most probably never will. Although the rule of vibration compatibility is scientifically backed, there are many cases where a soul has entered another body apparently without good compatibility, and without any kind of technological adapter. Some of these cases can be related to the phenomenon of demonic possessions, where there is a good enough compatibility between the demon's vibration and the body of the host, being that the victim must have been at a low enough vibration, already acting as a demon. Even before the lower astral evil entity would step into that body and take over it, displacing the original one, who may not have stepped out, remaining there in latency, overwhelmed by the entering demon who vastly exceeds its own soul etheric power. Yet, and as is to be expected, most of the cases of possession occur when a backdrop person, or NPC, is taken over by the demon, who uses them as organic portals whenever it wants to act through them to achieve anything that it may want, using the soul's matrix animated individual's position, role in society, or place in power for the demon's advantage. This is clearly seen when observing the actions of evil people in places of power, politicians, police, military, medical professionals, and psychopaths all alike, all being highly vulnerable to demonic possession as they are in places, or in a position where they can cause much harm and suffering to the rest of the human population. Anybody in those social roles, or in any other similar one, and conscious of having a soul, must be twice as aware and twice as vigilant as any other normal person, as they become easily targeted by demons, this with, or without, a soul of their own. Here the term organic portal would fit in perfectly, as that is exactly what empty backdrop, NPC people are. They are literally doorways for demons and other evil entities in the lower astral to enter the world of the living, to work through those empty shells, and to further their chaos and suffering causing agendas against the individuals with a soul, who share the world of the living with those empty people and the demons who work through them. All to lower their vibration, to be readily accessible to the demons for energetic exploitation, as I described months ago, in my videos about the portals that we all make. Religious exorcism rituals tend to be successful against most of these lower astral demons, because they are products of the matrix, and they were spawned as egregores, by the collective unconscious and all its rules, which included strong religious beliefs, as I shared in detail in previous videos. A walk-in phenomenon is a consented soul swap, and a possession is a hostile takeover. That is the main difference. There will be a third video about walkings, as there is still a lot more to say and share, but for now, this will be all for today. Thank you for watching my video and for liking and subscribing, I appreciate it a lot. And I hope to see you here next time. Take care. With much love, your friend, Mari Swaruu.